So Omega has released a bunch of new Speedmasters. It's not the Snoopy that we hoped for, even though it's the 55th anniversary. But these new Speedmasters are still interesting and fun, and we'll go through each one of them. And I'll give you guys my opinion as I always do. I'm honest when it comes to watch reviews. And yeah, we'll start off with my least favorite one. And it's no surprise, this is the Dark Side of the Moon Black edition. As if it's not obvious enough, it's black on black on black and even more black. And to be honest, I don't know why this watch exists, because you literally cannot do the basic function of a watch, and that is to tell the time. I'm trying very hard to find some redeeming qualities to this watch and to find a reason why it even exists in the first place. And to be honest, I find a bit of trouble in doing that. And I'm 32 this year, and I like to think that my eyesight is still pretty good, but I honestly cannot tell the time on this watch at a glance, and it takes me like 20 seconds at least to tell the time. And aside from needing to have a perfect eyesight, this watch is also 44.25 millimeters. So you also have to have the manliest of manly wrists to pull this watch off and make it look somewhat decent on your wrist. So we're not going to spend too much time on this watch because I don't want this video to be overly negative, but we'll go through some quick specs. This watch is 44.25 millimeters in a fully crafted black ceramic case. We have polished and brushed finishes throughout, sapphire crystal front and back, and inside is Omega's caliber 9900, a coaxial master chronometer, certified movement with about 60 hours of power reserve. You get sub registers, twin sub registers, and also a date window at 6 if you guys didn't notice it, because again, the dial. And now moving on to the next watch. This one is the Dark Side of the Moon, and the only difference to the black version is the dial. Instead of a fully blacked out dial, you get at least some legibility and you can tell the time on this watch, and that is the main difference. The rest of the specs is the same. You get the same movement, same motor resistance, same key size, same everything. On this one you get a black glossy dial, and it kind of matches with the polished ceramic case, so that's kind of nice, I guess. But the only thing is just that it's not really that interesting to me. And the case size is still the same, 44.25 millimeters, which is relatively large, especially modern day, for modern day standards. And it's also thick. This caliber 9900 by Omega is about 15.09 millimeters, so it's substantial. That's the downside for this watch, but it's a cool watch with the dial that matches the keys. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of these Dark Side of the Moon models. Now moving on to the next watch, and probably the highlight and my favorite of the recent release from Omega, which comes off as a surprise, because when I first saw it online, the first pictures, the press release, I didn't like it. I felt like it looked like an AI watch, for a lack of better word. And yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. But this is one of those watches where you really have to see it in person, so you can admire and appreciate the details. And for one of the details that I really enjoyed was the finishing of the watch. All of the recent releases for the Dark Side of the Moon models are all in ceramic cases, including this one. But the unique thing about this gray side of the moon is that it is not in a black ceramic case, because black ceramic, you can tell that a watch is made from ceramic if it's in black in color. But when it's gray like this, you probably think it's either titanium or platinum, just because of how they polish it and how it shines. It's definitely different than steel, so you wouldn't expect it to be ceramic. And that is one detail that I enjoy about this release, this watch. So that is a nice surprise, and I really did like it. And the other thing that is nice about this watch is it is much slimmer than the other Dark Side of the Moon models, at 13.09 millimeters, if I'm not wrong. And that is because it's using the Moonwatch movement, the 3861, but this one is called the 3869, just because it has some decorative details on the movement. But essentially it's the same movement, so you get the advantage of the slimness of it. The one downside to this watch is, of course, the case is still 44.25 millimeters, so it's the same as all the other Dark Side of the Moon releases. So that's one downside. And you can see here where's on my wrist, even though the movement is slim, but it still takes a lot of real estate on my wrist. And typically I could wear a big watch, 42 millimeters, no problem. But this one I feel like it's pushing it a little bit, which is unfortunate because it's a nice watch. The only other watch that has this kind of layout and dial configuration with the moon detailing is the Apollo 8, and it's the exact same watch. The only thing different is the colors, but other than that the specs are all the same. And I would say that Apollo 8 is a bit more iconic, and the colors are more refreshing and more fun, and you get a cool detail of the rocket at your subdial at 9 o'clock. That watch, of course, comes in a black ceramic case and it's polished nicely. Again, I think Omega did a great job with their ceramic cases. But of course, you could tell by a mile away that it's a ceramic case compared to the Gray Side of the Moon. It has, like I said earlier, it has this cool look where you don't suspect that it's a ceramic case at first glance. So if you're in the market for a Gray Side or the Dark Side of the Moon watch from Omega, I would say your best bet is either the Apollo 8 or this new Gray Side of the Moon. I think you can't go wrong with either one. The one upside that I think the Gray Side of the Moon has is that right now on Omega's current catalog, it's the only watch with a lume tachymeter scale and also on the crown itself. Previously, the previous version of the Apollo 8, it has that, but the latest one, Omega removed it. So right now, if you like that kind of cool detail, the Gray Side of the Moon is the only watch that has that detail for the lume. So yeah, just FYI. Now there's one more watch that Omega released as part of the whole Dark Side of the Moon models, but the boutique didn't have one, so I'll just give my quick impressions from what I see online. It's pretty much the same, almost the same as the Black edition. The only difference is you get a manual wind movement and it's a slimmer movement, so that's an upside. And you also get a red chronograph second hand, and it's been nicknamed the Dark Vader because of that. Even Mr. Speedy Tuesday himself, Mr. RBR, is really liking this watch, but I have my reservations to it still. I'm not completely sold because it's still the same as the Black edition. The legibility is just still not there, and the chronograph second hands won't move. It will be just at the center and it'll be pretty much useless. So again, you don't get legibility, and I don't see the point of a watch if you can't tell the time. So yeah, that's just what I think, and you guys can let me know what you guys think of Omega's recent release. Let me know if you guys agree or if you don't. And yeah, that's all that I have for you guys today, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.